15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I was out there performing 8 performances on a weekend. It was fantastic, so I had a good time. I hope you too, and that you got some rest and a bit of a break, and you are energized for the week and for your injection of the 15-Minute Monday. I'm not going to hold you up long. Let's get right into it. Today we talk about the psychological immune system and when your mind protects you and when it turns against you. This is a good one. I hope that you got something to make some notes. If not, get it, strap in, and let's get into it right away. Your mind has an immune system. It's simple. The question is yours protecting you or attacking you? Because most people understand physical immunity, a system that protects you from viruses, toxins, and harm, everything that comes from the outside. What they don't realize is that the psyche has its own version, a psychological immune system designed to protect your sense of self. And here's the twist. Sometimes it protects you, sometimes it shields you from growth. Sometimes it becomes the very thing that holds you back. This matters because your psychological immune system is running every day beneath your awareness. And it determines how you react to criticism, how you interpret failure, how you process conflict, and whether you rise or you retreat. If you want emotional freedom, mental strength, and identity coherence, you must understand this system and learn to strengthen it without letting it imprison you. So what's the problem? What's the price that we pay here? The psychological immune system has one job: protect your self-image. But it often does this through outdated defenses, downplaying problems so you don't feel inadequate, rationalizing poor decisions to avoid discomfort because we don't like discomfort, but discomfort is where growth happens, blaming external factors to protect ego. So many people just outside. It's always the victim mentality, everyone else's fault, but not mine. The common denominator is them, but they still don't get it. Avoiding feedback because it feels threatening, because we don't want to be rejected, we don't want to hear that we're not doing well, totally forgetting that that is the way how we can change it and how we can be better. Repeating old behaviors because change feels unsafe. Humans don't like uncertainty, humans don't like change, but that is most of the time where the magic happens. These defenses feel like protection, but they're actually avoidance mechanisms. They block growth, distort reality, and create emotional blind spots that quietly sabotage progress. Your psychological immune system is doing its job, but sometimes its job is based on who you used to be and not who you are becoming. And tribe, let me explain to you, there's a much higher cost than you would think. When your mental immune system becomes overprotective, you react to feedback like it's an attack. You take neutral situations personally. You shut down when reality contradicts your expectations. You stay stuck because discomfort gets mislabeled as danger. You mistake self-protection for self-preservation. It's dangerous. An overactive psychological immune system makes life smaller. You stop taking risks, you stop evolving, you stop challenging your own thinking because challenge feels unsafe. And there's nothing worse than stopping to challenge your own thinking. That's where magic happens. That's where you can make the change, where you can really make a difference in your life. And what's the result out of that? Comfort increases, but capacity decreases. And that is how people drift into mediocrity without even noticing. But fear you not, tribe. Today, I got the 5-step toolkit for you that you can use immediately that will help you to do something about it. Let's get right into it. Step number 1, identify your default defenses. Your mind protects you through patterns. You need to name them. The action that you take here is identify your top 3 defenses. Do you justify instead of self-reflect? Do you minimize instead of owning? Do you deflect instead of listening? Big one right here. Majority of us guilty of this. Do you avoid instead of confronting? Awareness breaks automaticity. You can't interrupt what you can't see, so you need to bring it to awareness. Step number 2, distinguish threat from discomfort. Your psyche treats discomfort like danger. That's the flaw. The action that you take here, when triggered, you need to ask yourself, am I unsafe or uncomfortable? This question right here is super powerful. 99% of the time, you're uncomfortable, and discomfort is the exact experience required for growth. This one question prevents emotional overreaction and restores clarity in seconds. Step number 3, strengthen constructive immunity. Healthy immunity means protection without distortion. The action that you take here build 3 internal strengths. 1, self-integrity. Tell the truth faster than your ego can. Number 2, self-regulation. Pause before reacting always, so that you get time to understand what is happening here before you respond. And self-respect. Accept feedback without collapsing into shame. These 3 form a strong but flexible mind, one that bends without breaking. Step number 4, replace defense with dialogue. Instead of defending, engage. The action that you take here when faced with criticism, ask, what part of this might be true? What can I learn from this data point? What is this reaction revealing about me? You don't have to agree with all feedback, but you must be willing to examine it. Dialogue turns threat into information. Step number 5, build an expanding self-image. A rigid identity requires heavy defense. You see that in many old school people. Rigidity is never, not even ever, anything that is going to make you grow. Rigidity means you are not thinking critically, you bought into a narrative, you have built an identity about something that you do not allow to be questioned. And that is never anything good. And I use the never and always word rarely, but in this case, rigidity does not get you anywhere, because an evolving identity requires no defense. What action that you take here? Write one evolving identity statement. I am someone who grows from truth, not hides from it. Then gather daily proof, one behavior that reinforces this identity. The stronger your self-image becomes, the less your mind needs to protect it. And why does this matter? Why is this so important? A strong psychological immune system isn't fearless, it's honest. The real enemy is not criticism, conflict, rejection, or failure. The real enemy is a fragile self-image that collapses under pressure. And growth becomes possible the moment you stop treating discomfort as danger. Your psyche will always try to protect the old you. It's your job to train it to protect the new you. This is how you evolve, not through motivation, through identity expansion. And let me give you a powerful question that I ask many of my top performers, that if you use it, is so powerful, you will not believe it. And I tell you, if you put the time in to use this question, this can change everything. If you are looking for a new identity, let's say, for instance, you want to be better at communication, ask yourself this question. In 3 months' time, if I would be a great communicator, what would have to be true that isn't true right now? And you deep dive this question, and I can guarantee you find the solution, because you have to be specific here, you have to be clear, you have to have a goal, you have to take action steps. So ask yourself that question, and that will make a huge difference. And I see these things in my coaching engagements with leaders around the world. Leaders who can't take feedback often have overreactive psychological immunity. After learning to separate identity from performance, they explode in capability because they can finally digest truth without ego collapse. That's a big one right here. One of my coaching clients recently, a founder, realized he dismissed ideas not because they were bad, but because he felt threatened because someone else had a better idea. And once he learned to regulate before reacting, his team's creativity and cohesion rose to the stars. You need to be conscious as a leader. You need to have a high level of awareness. You need to understand your triggers, your fear responses, and all those kind of things. And once you have that level of awareness, you know how to take a step back, identify when you are triggered, and then disconnect from it and come from a place of clarity and composure. That's what true leadership is about. It's not that you're not scared. It's not that you're not panicking. It's about showing up without people recognizing that you are scared because you don't allow to take over your actions. It's about going into a room and you can distribute calm because you're acting from a place of clarity. You have dealt with your fear responses, with your triggers, and now your brain is working again in the place where it needs to, from a place of clarity, composure, and leadership. And that is the difference. You need to understand your psychological immune system shapes every reaction you have. Once you master it, you master yourself. Let me give you some advanced strategies right here. The reality exposure training. Spend 60 seconds daily facing one small truth you've been avoiding. The mind grows through exposure, not escape. Then trigger deconstruction. When something hits you emotionally, ask, what belief did this trigger? Often the pain is not the comment, it's the meaning you gave it. And then cognitive antibodies. Create 3 phrases you use to counter distorted thinking. Discomfort is not danger. Feedback is information, not identity. I can tolerate truth. These act like antibodies against emotional overreaction. That's the frameworks. That's what I share with my leaders. That's the things, the strategies that we build so that people can be better when they get under pressure or when these fear responses happen, when the triggers come, when someone says something and it rubs you up the wrong way, but you are able to step back from it, look at it, deal with it internally first, and then come forward with something that comes from clarity, composure, and poise. That's how you do it. Let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. Run your psychological immunity audit this week. Number 1, identify one moment where you became defensive. Number 2, pause and then ask, threat or discomfort? Number 3, replace your defense with one question. What part of this is useful data? Number 4, act on one piece of truth instead of protecting your ego. And number 5, add that behavior to your identity ledger, in your journal, on a piece of paper where you can see it over and over. And by Sunday, your reactions will feel calmer, cleaner, and more grounded. If you didn't get it, go back, write it down, use this framework, and then you can comment on one of my episodes, reach out on social media, and let me know what you thought. If this episode opened your eyes to your own defenses, share it with someone who needs to hear this truth with clarity and not judgment. I want you to subscribe, leave a review, and join me every Monday for some pieces of psychological architecture that reshape how we think and live. Copy the episode link, share it on WhatsApp with 3 people, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you communicate. Let's build the tribe even bigger. Let's help other people that need to hear this. It's free, it's there for everyone. And why not help people to get better at this thing called life and business? That's what we're here for. So I'll be forever grateful if you share and help me grow the tribe. We are so big already, and I want to push this even further. This is episode 152 of the 15-Minute Monday. Amazing. What a journey. What a success. And as always, let's not forget the sponsor, Doc Marty Mushrooms. A strong mind needs a strong foundation, and Doc Marty Mushrooms supports the clarity, calm, and cognitive resilience required to regulate your psychological immune system instead of letting it run wild. Many great products, many new products. Head over to docmarty.com, and if you use the code DAN20, DAN20, you will get an exclusive to the Success Blueprint 25% discount on your first purchase. Head over to docmarty.com. You won't regret it. And in closing, I want to leave you with one thought. Your mind can be your shield or your cage. Strength isn't avoiding truth. It's absorbing it without breaking. Train your psychological immune system and you will stop reacting to life and start directing it. I hope you enjoyed it. That was me. That was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint. With my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe. Have a fantastic week.